10:30 p.m. embargo for Saturday, the 5th of December. So that's 10:30 p.m. on Saturday. I know I can't get to everybody, but I've got a few promoted to the panel. So just to conclude this section, we'll go with who we've got at the moment. Simon Mullock first, please. Then Steve Bates. Simon.
Hi, Jurgen. I was intrigued what you said in the earlier section. The dangers, the physical dangers to players at the moment are obvious given the amount of games that they're having to play. But you mentioned mental health. Could you kind of explain what you meant by that?
Why do I have to explain that? I'm not more an expert than you are. So you could write this article without my voice. It's 100% clear that the whole situation is a challenge for mental health for all of us. Not sure how often you can go outside and stuff like this. The boys are under massive pressure. They're always, yes, I know they're well paid for that, but they're still human beings. And now they go home and have to stay there until they go for the next training session. The families cannot go out because we have all COVID restrictions, and the boys get tested twice a week, Premier League and then Champions League test as well. And that means for the family, so they have to stay at home. So when the kids go to school, it makes it even more tricky. So the kids come home, you cannot let them out really for playing. So it makes the time really intense. That's all mental health. And
it was more about how you can monitor that and make sure that that's the
problem. That's the problem, that I have to monitor it or whatever, because the problem is obvious. But the decisive people have to think about it. If I understand the word monitor right, does it mean that I have to mention it, or what do you think?
No, have to kind of gauge it. Have to look at each player individually and see how they are.
That's the job we have to do. That's what we always do. We have my door is as open as possible. We have a lot of talks. You judge the boys. You look in their eyes. You stuff like this. You hope they tell you if something is not going the right way, and all these kind of things. But there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. We just have to. And I know already that now people will say, because he fights for the 5 subs, and now he mentions that I cannot help these people. I'm not that stubborn that I want 5 subs and now we have to do it. I'm not like, people can think what they want about me, to be honest. But if they think I'm that, then I cannot change it. But in that, we don't understand that this is not about leveling any competition, especially not this year. It's not about leveling any competition, say, now the top 6 or whoever that is. I don't even know exactly who that is. Where does it start? Where does it end? It's not for these teams. It's for all the teams. It helps massively. And if you ask any guys from other leagues where they could have that battle as well, they tell you they cannot understand. And it's not only Germany. They cannot understand that we don't do it. If you just speak to somebody from another league, they say, why would you not do it? So it's not the solution. It's part of a solution. It can help slightly. And if it's something can help in a moment slightly, then I think we should go for it. That's all.
Steve Bates, then Joe Bernstein, and Adam Lanigan might be the last one we can take. But Steve Bates next.
Hello, Jurgen.
Hi.
Hi. 2 parts really to this question. Last season, you were out in front for virtually the whole time in the Premier League with a decent safety net, a bit of a cushion there. You always had a few points in hand to play with, particularly second half of the season. I'm just wondering, people were chasing you at that point. This time you might have to do the chasing in terms of it being a much closer race this time. Is that a bigger pressure when you're chasing somebody to get past them at the top? Is that a bigger pressure, or knowing that, if you slip up, then it can be quite costly, whereas before you were out in front with a cushion? And the second part of the question is, the fans are coming back, as we know. You've already alluded to that. Can they be a help to Liverpool, even though Anfield there are only a few of them in? Can they still be a help?
First part of the question. So I don't feel that we chase in the moment anybody or somebody chase us. If I watch football games, then I see that Tottenham is doing obviously pretty well. That Chelsea is, for me, in the moment, looks like the favorite, biggest squad, great play football, found together now after maybe, I can't remember it anymore, but maybe kind of a little bit of a rusty start if it was. But now they are full in and have unbelievable opportunities to change between the games and stuff like from one game to the other. So that's it. You watch it on that, but we don't chase them. We play them when we play them. So and that was how we saw it last year as well. Pressure is there, but it's about yourself, how much you think about that. To be honest, the pressure is there to win a game, and our pressure is that we want to win against Wolves. But we play only Wolves that weekend and nobody else. So all the others can play against each other or not, and then they will collect points. And it's always like this. That's much too early to think about who is ahead of who or whatever. It's just a situation. I said before, this season is not about setting a target and going for it. It's about getting through it with the best possible football you can play. And that's what we try to do. And it differs from weekend to midweek sometimes because of some circumstances, but it's still the target for us all the time. Be fully focused on the next game, the next opponent, and don't think, especially not that early, about other results. The second part of
will having fans back help?
So again, I said having fans back. If I say now it helps, I'm not sure. Then Chris Wilder will say that it's not okay that Liverpool has supporters and Sheffield United not. He said it already. So if Sheffield United would have supporters and Liverpool has not, I wouldn't. Then it's the other way around. I cannot change that. The situation is not for that. Why do we talk about these kind of things? Is it advantage? I don't know. We will see. Is it nice for the people to get back? Yes, it is very nice. I'm really happy for the people that it can come in the stadium. Do I expect that 2,000 people will push us through a difficult game and we will win because of them? No, I don't expect that. I know we have to help ourselves, and then we will see what kind of atmosphere we can create together. And I have no idea about it, how it will be. So, but it's not about, it's just a situation, a moment that we really, some are allowed and some are not, and that can change in the next few weeks. Hopefully it doesn't and just improves for all of us, and everybody can have supporters in the stadium. But as long as that is not the case, we have to take it like it is.
Okay, Joe, and then Alan to finish. Joe first.
Jurgen, the consistency of your front three, Firmino, Mane, Salah, has been just remarkable over 2 or 3 years. Now, for the first time with Jota doing so well, I think fans and us, we look at your starting team sheets now for the first time with interest, who's going to play. How are Mane and Salah going to cope with that? They are world stars. They've got massive following. They want Ballon d'Ors. They want golden boots. How are they going to respond to the competition?
Like they do, no problem. And probably Firmino, by the way, as well. And Diogo Jota as well. So he's doing exceptionally well in the moment. It's absolutely, but to keep that standard, we have to work really hard. You have to be in a good shape. You have to score goals because the other boys do that usually. So that's clear. That's for us. It was the most important thing was that we don't have to bite our nails pretty much in each game and hope they come somehow through and we can bring them in the next game again, especially not in this season. And that's not a real luxury situation because there's only one player, and it's how I said, it's the only position in the moment, the only line, front three line, where we have more players than we can line up in one game. I would say all other positions is pretty much who can walk will play or will be a kid. So, and both is fine, but there's nothing bad in that situation. They deal all that. They wouldn't be who they are. They wouldn't be where they are if they couldn't deal with a situation like that. They're completely fine with Diogo. Diogo is fine with them. So they're happy. They're overly happy that he had that brilliant start, as I am, obviously. But now that's already gone. Now we have to carry on.
Final question before we finish, Adam, and that's it.
Jurgen, you said earlier that football isn't half as enjoyable without the fans. Therefore, how much admiration do you have for how the players have performed in the last 6 months in such unusual circumstances in the grounds?
I have a lot of admiration for my players, but actually not for that reason, to be honest, because I expected that. That's what we have to do. So I love a full stadium. So I really love it. The energy, everything, the vibes, everything's just great. It's not for me not to compare with any other event. This is the when I enjoy the most of all other things I like as well. But it's our job is to play the best football we can. In a stadium, when the stadium is against you in a away game, for example, it's our job to do. In a stadium when all support you, it's our job to do still. You still have to bring it on the pitch. And in an empty stadium, you have to do it. There's no reason not to deliver. But I'm happy with a lot of the performances. What we asked ourselves for was that we have to create now the atmosphere alone on the pitch. And the boys did it quite often, not always, but often. And now it's a little bit different, but we still have to do the job ourselves and then see how much support we get, because we don't know. We don't know yet. We will see. And hopefully I can say more about that after the game.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And we'll speak to you on Sunday.